Hi guys, it's Graham again, aka Speed Lover 2000, and I'm back in the UK. I've been back in the UK for a few days now. This video is something different from the normal ice hockey videos that you normally see on this channel. This is actually going to be a trip report on a recent holiday to Abu Dhabi with my fiancee Sam, who isn't here at the moment. She's actually at work. I'll try not to keep it too long. I'll give you a day-by-day trip report and also sort of a few tips on what to do and what not to do out in Abu Dhabi. So I'll start off with Saturday the 22nd of April, which was the day that we flew out to Abu Dhabi. My fiancee's sister came and picked us up about 9ish, and we loaded the car up, made our way to Heathrow Terminal 5 as we were flying with British Airways on flight BA73 on the Boeing 787-9 Dreamliner, a plane which I'd never flown on before, so it was a whole new experience for me on that plane. Previously, we'd flown out to Abu Dhabi for a few days over Christmas 2016 with Etihad on the A380, which was a dream come true for me, but that's a different story. I'll do a different trip report on that particular holiday sometime soon. So anyway, we arrived at Terminal 5 at about 9:20, unloaded the car, got the cases onto a trolley, and then made our way into Terminal 5. Our gates weren't or the check-in gates weren't opening until about 20 to 10, so we had a bit of time to hang around. Upon the gates opening, we made our way to one of the check-in desks and checked our cases in, and then we decided to go through security, get it done out of the way. Now this was a bit different from normal, as if you take a laptop or an iPad out with you, you have to take the iPad and the laptop out of the hand luggage bag and put them in a separate tray so they can be scanned separately, which is fair enough. Anyway, we were called through to the next part, and both me and my fiancée Sam were pulled aside to go through what they call a body scan. Now this is a very strange machine. Basically what you do is you go inside of it, there's two footprints on the floor that are marked out for you, so you stand on them, and then you have to have your hands up in the air, as if in my case, if you're a roller coaster enthusiast, then that's nothing different to you. Anyway, this machine scans you. When I came to go out, I had to be patted down by one of the male security guards, and then I had to place each foot at a time, or each shoe at a time, sorry, on a box where they swabbed each shoe for some unknown reason. I'm not sure what it was, but it was a test for drugs or something, I don't know, but there you go. So after that, we actually went through, picked up, obviously put my laptop and my iPad back into my rucksack, and then we made our way to a restaurant for breakfast. After that, we made our way through to our gate, which was B39 from what I remember, which meant we had to go on the shuttle train, which was quite fun, and it was quite quick as well. Upon our arrival at the gate, obviously there was no one there, so we had a little bit of time to waste. So I had a quick look round, as did Sam, and then we took our seats again to be waited to be called forward to board the plane. When we got on the plane, fine, found our seats, no problem. I had a window seat, and I did a video of the pushback, taxi out, and then the takeoff. I will warn you now that it's about half an hour, and we had to obviously stop in traffic to make our way onto the taxiway to go onto the runway. That video is about half an hour long, so you have been warned. Anyway, so eventually we took off, and the flight was about 6.5 hours, just over, something like that. And then we had quite a smooth journey actually. Then we had a lovely smooth landing at Abu Dhabi airport, which was quite decent for a change. And then we got off the plane, went through to passport control. Now if you've not been to Abu Dhabi before, you have to join the normal passport control queue. But if you're like me and my fiancée Sam, you had been there before, you could go through the e-gates, which are a lot easier and a lot quicker. So we made our way through that, and then we went through to another security where you just had to put your hand luggage to be scanned, or if you're wearing a baseball cap like I normally do, but I'm not now, which is a bit different. And they obviously took that off so they could see your face and make sure there's nothing on the baseball cap, basically. and if you are wearing any jewellery, then you'll have to take it off. In my case, 3 rings and 2 bracelets, which most of you that know me, you will know that I wear 3 rings and a pair of bracelets on my right hand and wrist. After that, we had to go make our way to the baggage reclaim carousel. We were told number 3, that developed a problem, so we had to go to the next one, number 4, and we were there for a fair while waiting for our suitcases. Meanwhile, outside by the arrivals bit, Sam's parents were waiting to pick us up. So it was nearly midnight their time, 9 o'clock UK time, before we actually got out of the baggage reclaim. The plane, incidentally, the flight was actually supposed to be at 20 to 1. We actually rolled back at about 1 o'clock, so 20 minutes late. Anyway, the next day, which was Sunday the 23rd of April, Sam and her mum had their nails done in the morning, as well as some other little bits. And we all went to a beach together, the 4 of us, which was a bit interesting. It was like kind of private beaches, but beyond all the rocks to the side of us, there was like a canal, and you had jet skis and speedboats going along up and down. And the jet skis were absolutely caning it up and down. If you were out that far, then you would have been history, basically, and they wouldn't have known anything about it. Anyway, so that was briefly what we did on that day. Sorry about that. That's a message on the phone or my watch, even. Anyway, Monday, the 24th of April, basically me and Sam went to the Yas Mall. Sam's dad kindly sorted our taxi out to take us from the townhouse where we were staying to take us to Yas Mall. Now, a word of advice, if you are going to get a taxi, the taxi drivers out there are completely mad, basically. They do about 120 kilometres an hour where they shouldn't even be doing that kind of speed. And they swerve from lane to lane. So if you're a bit of a nervous passenger in a taxi, be warned. They do drive like absolute freaking maniacs out there. They even do the normal people out there. They do not use their indicators. They change lanes at the last minute. And it is absolute chaos. But it can be quite good fun if you're a thrill seeker. But no. You have to be very, very on your edge if you are driving. You need eyes up your backside and everywhere, because you never know what is going to happen. So basically, Yas Mall, we did some shopping there. I went into Adidas, Nike, Oakley, and even went into Hollister, where I bought a pair of camo flip-flops. But I will do a full video on what I actually bought out there, as I'm not going to do that in this particular video. I just want to keep it to the trip report for you. Anyway, and so moving on to the 25th of April. Well, I can't remember actually what we did on Tuesday the 25th of April. I haven't really got it written down. All I've got is something written down, but I cannot read my bloody writing. But there you go. So we move on to the 26th of April. Sam's mum was actually working, so me, Sam and her dad went to a beach which we went to on Christmas Day last year. I'll mention that in another trip report. Basically, you pay this particular beach, you pay 25 dirhams per person to go on, and if you want to hire a lounger, an umbrella, then that's about 50 dirhams. So we had 3 lounges and 1 umbrella, but I've spent most of my time actually in the sea. I never really hardly got out because I was having so much fun. And then obviously that was basically, or if you want to just swim, then it's 25 dirhams. You don't pay for the lounges or the umbrellas. You don't get that luxury, even though some people do that, take that liberty. And if you do pay the full, then you get an orange band, obviously for the swim and the lounges. If you're just going to swim, then I'll give you a blue wristband. So now we move on to a fun day, which was Thursday the 27th of April, and it was my fiancee Sam's birthday. I'm not going to mention how old she was, or she will flipping kill me. Anyway, so this day was quite a good day because we went to Yas Waterworld, which is situated near a certain park called Ferrari World. Obviously, I'll get onto that day a bit later on. Basically, I had obviously I've got a GoPro, so I did some on my POVs with that. Or you could hire a GoPro, which was about 400 dirhams to hire it, which is about roughly 80-ish pounds. And you only get it for 2 hours. So me having my own GoPro, I had it all day long, and I could film more or less anything. They weren't restricting you at all. Basically, they've got some good rides there. They've got some slow rides, like two crazy rivers. One of them is just nice and smooth, but they have got like water jets or waterfalls, which you do get wet on. When I was on it, I was actually making my way to go under each and everything I could, basically. And one thing I will say to you, if you are going to go there, make sure you've got plenty of sun lotion on you, or suntan lotion, 50 plus factor, because it was absolutely bloody hot out there. We were out in mid-30s to high 30s out there, and I've just remembered what we did on the Tuesday, but I'll go back to that in a minute. I'll carry on with Thursday. So the first ride I did, well, me and Sam's dad did, and Sam and her mum went on the lazy river, so me and her dad went on to one of the water slides, which are when you lay down on like a sled, and you go racing down through a tube, and then it comes open and you go down the slope and then into the splash area. Now, the first time was okay, but the second time, well, I've actually got the full video of it. If you do watch that one, you'll hear me go, whoa. Basically, I went round a bend and I ended up on my back with my sled on top of me. And I managed to get the right way up before I actually came out into the open section. And I did say about it to a lifeguard. And the lifeguard was a bit concerned, saying, oh, are you okay? And I said, yes, I'm fine. Basically, I had a long sleeve sun protection top on. And I did have a pair of long waterproof trousers on. Basically, you can wear anything. They don't really claim, even though if you are a woman out there, then you have to be a bit careful, because I'll come back into that section in general about other things. Even the local women out there wear like long leggings. I saw people in long leggings or running tights and waterproof jackets of all things, which was obviously their culture. Anyway, we left there about 4ish to go back to the townhouse to get ready for the evening, where we went out for a family meal at a hotel called if I can find it. Oh, I can't find it, but anyway, it doesn't really matter. It was a very exclusive hotel, and they had a poolside barbecue, which served fish, meat, starters. I mean, for example, I started off with a cauliflower soup, which sounds different, but it was absolutely lovely. Then I had my main was a meat with some other stuff on it, and some of it had a right kick to it, spicy. And then I had a dessert. I mean, you can go up as much times as you want, but unfortunately that night I had stomach problems. I'm not going to go into that too much, so I didn't eat that much, unfortunately. But the actual atmosphere was quite nice. They had a couple of ladies singing, quote, singing, different songs and that, but not many people actually applauded them when they'd finished each song, which tells you something a bit bad. But anyway, so that was Sam's birthday. And we'll now go back to the Tuesday, because I've just remembered what the bloody hell we did. Basically, Sam's mum was working, so me, Sam and her dad went to the Grand Mosque. Now, I will tell you now, if you go there, then you have to have long trousers on. I had jeans on, and I had a short-sleeved shirt with a collar on it. They will, if they don't like the look of what you're wearing, they will give you one of the white outfits that all the sheiks and the Arabs wear out there. But luckily I got away with that one, I didn't have to, not that it was a bad thing. And if you're a woman, you have to wear long trousers. My fiancée wore a pair of jeans and a long sleeve cardigan, and she also had a scarf over her head because women have to cover their heads basically. If they don't like the look of that, then they will put this outfit on you, and I mean they literally sling it on you. They're not very friendly with it, and I saw quite a few people out there with them on, and obviously they had hoods on them, so you had to have the hood up. And I did see some ladies in jackets with hoods. I saw a lady in an Adidas jacket and she had the hood up. Fair enough. And we actually had a look round the mosque, and it was, believe me, it was. I'm not religious and I don't have a faith, but it was really nice to look round, and it's all free. And the good thing is you can actually take as many pictures as you want. But if you are going to put pictures on Facebook, be very careful, because they don't like pictures of people in the background, which is a bit strange. Obviously over here you can take as many pictures as you want with people in the background, i.e. Florida, but they are very strict on it over there. So if you are going to post pictures on Facebook, be very careful. Don't try and put anything on with people in the background because they won't like it. So that's the Tuesday out the way. I've done Thursday, now it's Friday. We got up about 8:30 in the morning, had breakfast, as you do on holiday, and then obviously we got ready to go out. We went to a mini golf thing, which was in Dalmar Mall, I think, if I remember rightly. And it was literally in the middle of the mall. It's like a glow in the dark. So if you are going to go to that, wear some items of clothing that will glow in the dark. I mean, I did, and I actually stood out like a sore thumb. Basically, it was like 18 holes, and we had an absolute laugh. Sam's dad won, Sam came second, and me and Sam's mum came joint third. So there you go. Some of them things were quite easy. Some of them were quite hard, but end of the day, we just had a bloody good laugh. Anyway, so after that, we had a quick lunch, and then back to the townhouse, and we had afternoon tea with a family friend, and me and Sam went for a swim around at the local pool that residents can use. We actually went there twice altogether. I think this day Sam didn't go in for a swim, but only I did. But basically, you have to sign when you go in. You have to sign in. Obviously, say what villa, what number you are, what townhouse or villa number you're staying in, a number of people, and then you can just carry on swimming. And then I got out, and it was back to the townhouse, which was only about 5 to 10 minutes walk away from the actual pool. The pool was quite small. There's a lifeguard there who is there 12 hours a day. He gets an hour's lunch, so I felt obliged to give him a tip. I gave him 20 dirhams, and he was very happy when I gave that to him. So I made his day. And obviously after that, we just basically went back to the house, had a light dinner, and then just chilled out for the evening. I went on my iPad or Sam on my phone just to play games or whatever. Anyway, so that's the Friday. Now, the next day was probably my ultimate favourite day of the trip. Even though, I mean, every day I had enjoyed, but this one was a good one for me because it was a return visit to Ferrari World. Now, I have done a couple of videos there, which I will post on here later. One is of Formula Rossa, which is my favourite, my number one coaster in the world that I've done. Obviously I'll go into that in a bit more detail. Anyway, so that morning we travelled to Ferrari World, parked in Yas Mall, and then walked to Ferrari World with Sam, her mum and dad. Basically, we stopped in the Apple store to get Sam her birthday present. I'm not going to say what it was because I don't think I should do, but there you go. Anyway, after we'd done that bit, we went to Ferrari World and we made our way in. Obviously having a look at some of the cars on display before making our way to Formula Rossa, which only I did. Now, a word of warning, if you are going to take a GoPro with you or anything, they do not allow them on the rides, as I found out, because apparently, even though my GoPro was on a chesty, or like a shoulder strap which goes around the side of me, and it was on there pretty damn tight, they don't allow it because someone, I think, had an accident where the GoPro had come off and it had actually hit someone. And I'm not sure if they had it on a chest mounted holder like I had or what, I don't know, but they won't allow me to have it, unfortunately. Otherwise I'll have done a POV video for you, which would have been quite good, I reckon. But anyway, I actually got on the second row on the left hand side, and believe me, I absolutely loved that ride. If I lived in Abu Dhabi or was more local, I would be there practically a lot riding that particular ride. So that was my first ride. To give you an idea, Formula Rossa is a launch coaster. You get in on the main station and then you roll out into the staging area. There's 5 red lights that come on one at a time, similar to a Formula 1 racing start. And then when the green lights come on, you launch literally from 0 to 149 mile an hour, 240 kilometres an hour, I do believe that is. And you are accelerating to that speed in 5 seconds. So it's bloody quick, and it's my favourite ride. I literally, as soon as we took off, I had my arms in the air like I would when I'm on a normal roller coaster. So upon finishing it, I actually got my GoPro back because I had to put it in a bin. So I met up with Sam on the viewing balcony where I did the video, where I actually, for the first ever time, I actually got in front of the camera like I am now. I was going to do vlogs out there, but every time I got in front of the camera, I lost my nerve and didn't do it. But I thought, I'm going to have a go, and I did it. And I did it twice in that day, once for Formula Rossa and then in the gallery of Ferrari, where they have some Ferraris actually on display in there. And so I've done a quick video on that as well, with some commentary. Some of it may be good, some of it may be bad, because some of the Ferraris I didn't really know, even though I saw the La Ferrari, which was on display back in Christmas when we were there. And I say in that video that it was, apart from the one on display there, I've not seen one in the flesh. When I said that, I meant I hadn't seen one on the road before. So that's what I was on about when I said I hadn't. If you watch that one, I say about I hadn't seen one in the flesh apart from that one on display. That's what I meant, on the road. So after that, me and Sam went on to a shoot 'em up game, where I'm pleased to say I actually won. Yay! Basically, in the front row it's 2 rows, back row is 2 people, front row is 3 people. So I actually had 2 of the guns which were shaped like spanners, basically, which was quite good fun. It's like a kiddie thing, but we were told, oh yeah, you can go on it, so we did. And at the end of it, when you get off, there's like a screen and it says headlines, and it says the crew chief. And if you're wondering who the crew chief was, you're looking at him right now. That's me. I think my highest score was 40-something thousand, which was quite good. I apologise if my camera keeps going bright and dark, bright, dark. I'm not quite sure what is going on. Something must be doing the lighting. Anyway, so we did that, and then we went on to Flying Aces, I do believe. Because we wanted the front row, we had to wait about 12 minutes, but it was worth it in the end. Basically, this was also another record-breaking coaster. Sorry. Obviously, Formula Rossa is the world's fastest because of the speed. Flying Aces is the record breaker. I think it's got either the fastest incline. I know it's quite a steep incline, but it's also got the world's biggest loop, I do believe, and it's basically like a heart shape. So basically you go up into the loop like you normally would on a looping coaster, but at the top you actually flip over so you're the right way up, and then you flip over again so you come down the right way up. But that ride is good. So if you go to Ferrari World, I definitely recommend Formula Rossa and Flying Aces. And then we did another ride called the Fiorano GT Challenge, which is like a twin lane coaster where you have 2 lanes and you're side by side and you're racing. The cars are 2 Ferrari F430s put together. Well, they're not real ones, obviously, because they're 4-seaters, but they're made to look like that. So we did the one lane was black cars and then one lane was yellow. So we did the yellow lane first, and then we went on to the black car lane, where we actually got 2 goes. Basically, there was no one standing at the gate by where we were, and the ride steward said, "Oh, do you want to go again?" And I said to my fiancée, "Do you want to go again?" And she was like, and I said, "Shall we do it again?" So we did. So basically, we didn't have to rejoin the queue, which was quite good. And then the next ride that I did on my own, obviously Sam didn't do it, it's called Turbo Track, which has opened this year. Now, I was a little bit disappointed with this one, but basically it's one car and it holds 12 people. Basically, first row faces forwards, then the row behind it faces backwards, and then the row next to that faces forwards, and then the back row faces backwards. So basically I was facing going backwards, apart from obviously when you go back into the station when I was going forwards. Anyway, once you're on the train, obviously they check your seat belts and harnesses and whatever, and then you're moved to the side onto the main track, and then you are whisked away. I don't know what kind of speed it does, and then you go up and then down and then up to a vertical spiral, and then you go up that and then you stop. So basically I was facing the floor, and I quickly put my hands in the air, as I do normally on a roller coaster, but I put them back down again just in case anyone would say anything. And then you just basically go in the opposite direction, obviously, to what you were going. So if you went out, you were facing backwards, you came back into the station facing forwards. And then when you stop, you're moved over to you go to the right, obviously where you started from, and then you get off. Now, I had a ride operator going mad because I had a Ferrari t-shirt on and I had my Ferrari watch on. But what I didn't have on was my Ferrari cap. But he was like, "Oh, nice t-shirt." And I said, "Yeah, I've got the watch." So I showed him, obviously that's not my Ferrari watch, that is something else. And he went absolutely happy, mad over my watch and t-shirt. And obviously, on the way out, he was giving up high fives or shaking people's hands, which was a nice gesture. So after that, we went into the gallery store where I got myself a Ferrari World t-shirt. Obviously, I will show you that in another video. And I also got a Ferrari World case from my iPhone 6. Again, I will show you that in my other video, which will be about what I actually bought out there, clothes wise and obviously non-clothes wise, which will be phone cases and obviously and anything else I actually bought out there. Sorry about that, I had to think there for a second. But basically that was that. And then after that we went for lunch at Mackie D's, as you do, obviously their style. Which was quite busy. So me and Sam found a table, I went up, got my food, went to the table, and then Sam went up and got her food, and then came back to the table. So we had our lunch. And after that we went into Yas Mall to finish more shopping off again. I went into the Adidas store, and I went into the Nike store, as I'd seen some stuff I liked out there. I thought I'll go in there again and I'll get them on the way out. And also I went into the Hollister store again, and I bought something else. Basically, I am wearing them now. There you go. Camo jogging bottoms. Obviously, I'll do a full thing on that at some later stage, possibly during the week. And that'll probably take about 5 years to upload, as the internet at home is so slow. Unlike where I am now, where the internet is lightning quick. So after that, we got a taxi back to Sam's parents' house. and we just basically had dinner, and then we just started our packing, got our packing done, because we Sam's dad took us to the airport 10 o'clock their time, 7 o'clock in the evening UK time. Obviously you probably guessed that Abu Dhabi is actually 3 hours ahead of us at the moment. Obviously Christmas time when we were out there, they were 4 hours ahead of us, so you can imagine the jet lag we had to go through on when we got back to the UK. Anyway, so obviously we got to the airport. Our flight wasn't until 10 to 2 in the morning their time, so it was a hell of a long day for us. Again, we had the British Airways, were really good, both flights, nice and smooth on the 787-9 Dreamliner, which, yeah, I'm quite cool with that plane. I quite like it. It's not my favourite plane. I'd prefer to go on an A380, but the A380s are so big they take forever to unload. So anyway, that is practically the end of our trip report, or my trip report for the pair of us. We actually landed, we were supposed to land in the UK about 10 to 6. We would have landed a bit earlier, but we had to go into a holding position, and so we had to fly around in a big circle for a few minutes, and then obviously we touched down with a lovely smooth landing again. And for the first time ever, the flight home, we had a lady captain, which was a first for me, and I have to say she was bloody brilliant. So I can't fault any lady pilots out there. You know, ladies, if you want to go to be a pilot, go for it. So that is the trip report, even though I will, when we actually landed at Abu Dhabi airport, something I forgot to mention, but I'll mention it now. We had to come to a stop by the runway because there's about 5 or 6 planes waiting to take off, so we had to wait for them to get out of the way before we could carry on our taxi to the gate. And that was quite a bit of a long taxi, but it was worth it. So that is the end of my 2017 Abu Dhabi trip report. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope I didn't bore the living crap out of you. Excuse my language, but there you go. And if you want to know anything else, then I'll try it. Then put a comment in the comments section, and I will try and answer your questions best I can. Until then, see ya.